everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. An Ohio teenager is giving us all a lesson on resilience. She refused to let a leg amputation push her to the sidelines. Lindsay Buckingham shows us how she is embracing her new reality with confidence and determination.
God, it's money! Go money!
Usually for the first part, I just stand up and then sit back down. But for that game, I decided to stand up and finish the dance standing up.
To understand the gravity of the moment, let's go back to June, when a ruptured ovarian cyst led to sepsis and Amani fighting for her life. Doctors told her parents, Nicole and Arthur, to save their daughter, they need to take her leg.
Before she went back to get put on life support, like, we were both in her ear, like, it's not your time. You have to fight. Like, Monty, you have to fight now.
After more than 2 months in the hospital, Amani came home.
I just always knew that Amani was going to be fine.
And back to school the fall, rejoining her cheer squad and dance team. Last month, we surprised her with a motorized wheelchair from Miller's in Akron.
Thank you! Oh my gosh, how did you do that with a straight face?
Giving her a whole new freedom on the field and the confidence to practice standing up.
So like when I'm in the bathroom, I'll listen to the music and then I'll just get up and try to see if it works.
She taught herself to balance on one leg, but didn't tell anyone, not her coaches or teammates. She didn't even tell her parents.
I looked over, I saw my mom start crying. I was like, yeah, I did it.
Arthur says watching Amani's journey has been both heartbreaking and inspiring. He's raising his kids to never give up.
Amani's not a physical fighter, but she showed us with this situation that she is a fighter, that championship fighter.
She is a true definition of prayer works, and there are miracles.
Here's proof. During our interview with her parents, Amani joined us on stage, all on her own. Independence she got from Dad.
It's kind of like looking at her, it's kind of like, okay, you got it.
She was gonna lose her leg. Like, it was so much that happened. So now to see her, and I was like, are you really doing a back bend? Like,
yep, she is. And handstands. Through even the toughest days.
Hold it! Oh!
It's just tiring.
She has a horn.
Amani chooses happiness, standing tall in ways that truly matter.
It's only a minor step in the road, and you're still gonna be you no matter what happens. So just keep going. All you have to do is learn to adapt.
And that was Lindsay Buckingham reporting. In Tennessee, a hockey team had a memorable game, but it wasn't because of a top player. Andrew McClung tells us how a guy from the sales department made it onto the ice to score a once-in-a-lifetime shot.
On the top floor of the Knoxville Civic Coliseum is where you will find Hockey Top headquarters for the Ice Bears, which is where Drew King is making calls.
How are you doing today?
As corporate sales executive for the Knoxville Ice Bears.
Especially leading up to our first game, it's definitely our busiest time of the season.
And those calls lead to sales for businesses down on the ice. It's also where you will find the former club hockey player for Tennessee, because Drew also makes calls as the head coach for the Ice Falls.
Being the coach of the Ice Falls has been a really rewarding experience. Our guy zips around.
That word experience is something Drew is always looking to gain, learning from the Ice Bear coaches whenever he gets the chance.
Really beneficial for my coaching career and for the Ice Falls, I think.
He's around it a lot. He loves what he's doing. He loves being a part of the game.
And just a few weeks ago, the door opened for a call to Drew to get back in the game.
And we had to fill a roster spot and looking for guys in town that we could put out there on the ice and play the exhibition game.
So the call was made to Drew. Well, rather a text.
He was like, do you know of any guys in the Knoxville area that can play tonight? Think about it for 5 minutes, and he texts me back, and he says, look in the mirror.
Not only did Drew play, but he answered the call on offense.
I was forechecking against their defenseman, and he coughed it up to me right in front, and I was just lucky enough to be in the right spot and put it home.
He's out here selling everything, and for him to be a part of it like that, it was just awesome.
A once-in-a-lifetime moment that Drew probably won't get the call for again.
The organization got fined for me playing, so the door's probably closed. Obviously, it's a pro game and a pro goal, and that's something that I'll never forget.
In Knoxville, I'm Andrew McClung.
Alrighty, let's head over to Denver to see a piece of gaming history now. This video game advertisement, it was put up nearly 20 years ago, but it just recently became an overnight sensation. Jeremy Hohola explains why the mural is now attracting visitors from across the country to come see it in person.
It's no Michelangelo fresco, and it will never officially be designated as a historical site.
Yeah, it's been up my entire childhood.
But in the hearts and minds of some people, this mural is reminiscent of something like a religious experience for gamers in 2007, a time when they made a late-night pilgrimage to get the much-anticipated video game Halo 3.
Aliens. It was just aliens everywhere.
People across the country have taken notice of the 18-year-old mural for Halo 3 that still remains on the windows of this Denver GameStop. Some have even driven hundreds of miles to Denver just to see the relic from a bygone time.
A rotting vinyl printout from 2007, marketing a game they don't even sell anymore.
This 18-year-old mural is so important, Parker Lewison, way out in Connecticut, just had to document it.
Nothing lasts forever, and I think if you go out to the mural and look at it, that's very evident. That's part of why I hired a photographer to go out and take better, closer-up photos of it for me.
He's making a video essay about the Denver Halo 3 mural that is now nationally famous, especially after GameStop tweeted, "We'll take it down when something better comes out." That blew up like a plasma grenade. More than 500,000 likes.
What does it say about a company keeping up this thing that's just past its expiration date purely for that sentimental value?
Well, sadly, the Colorado sun is really starting to beat down on this thing. It's literally chipping away. Time will do that. It reminds me of my gamer days. Here's me as a teenager playing Duke Nukem on dial-up modem. Man, what happened to all that hair? As us gamers age, perhaps what we consider historical and notable also changes. This mural may not resonate with everybody, but it's a thing to be admired, as Master Chief still stands 18 years later. It ain't game over yet.
I love it, and I hope they keep it up.
I feel like they need to come do it again.
It's one of those things where I wouldn't say a restoration is in order or something like that, but more so it's kind of a enjoy it while it's still up, enjoy it while it's still there.
That was Jeremy Hohola reporting, and he is joining us now from Colorado. Hey, Jeremy.
Good morning. Thanks for having me about this. It was a fun story to work on.
Yeah, it definitely took me back to the early 2000s. We'll say maybe, early 2000s or so. And when you said Duke Nukem, oh my gosh, what a blast from the past.
I know. I mean, just to go back and think how games have changed so much. I remember, feeling as a kid back then, like it was a miracle to play with someone who was in a different neighborhood or a different, part of the state online. Now that's just like the norm on your iPhone these days. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the entire country is showing appreciation for that Halo 3 mural after nearly 20 years. How has the Denver community responded to the influx of folks wanting to check it out?
Well, after I did this story, even more people found out about it. And then people were posting on my Facebook page photos of them visiting the mural. So it's becoming an attraction. When you look at the mural up close, it's really starting to fade and peel. And I mean, I don't think they're going to replace it. But it's become a thing now. It's become a thing.
Yeah. All right. Now, for the folks who were not around when Halo 3 came out, can you give them some help and explain, the hype around it and why it is garnering this newfound attention?
Yeah, I think it's really centered around nostalgia, right? So back in 2007, when this game came out, that was during a time when people actually had to physically go to a game store to pick up a physical copy of a game. These days, people can just download games instantaneously and have them streaming on their computer. But back in those days, when I was a gamer, there was this excitement where you actually had to drive to the store at midnight, wait in line, and it became like this community event. You felt camaraderie with your fellow gamers, and there was this kind of like excitement building up. That doesn't really exist too much anymore, and I think this mural really reflects that time when that used to be the big thing to do.
Right. That makes me think about when I was a teenager and I got my hands on one of the new Grand Theft Autos at the time because my dad, he was in the military and it was released overseas first. So he sent it back home to me. I was able to go to school and say, hey guys, I already have the game.
Yeah. And they're coming out with the new one next year, which I'm really excited about. And I wish I had more time to play, but I mean, games have changed so much these days.
Yeah. Now, for folks who are not considered, maybe don't consider themselves rather, gamers, what do you hope they take away from this story?
I think what people can take away from the story is that, typically we look at articles of history, we look at elements of history as things as being very, very old, right? Or, art being very uppity and classical. This means something to people, even though it doesn't mean something to everybody. It means something to people who do love video games. And, for this mural, it transcends that feeling, right? So I think, and every community has their one thing that they can attach themselves to. And this is just one of those things that, elicits a very human response.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very cool story. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, it's time for a quick break now, but here is a look at what's coming up next. Look at this. This person is called the Cattle Whisperer. We meet a man who can find missing livestock when they've run away from home, and he takes us on the job to show us how he does it. Plus, a bond built behind bars, how Arizona inmates are rediscovering their purpose. And a little bit further in the show, the romantic gesture that seemed like a distant dream. I'll tell you why one patient was determined to bend his knee. Welcome back. Now, when cattle are on the loose in Illinois, there's only one person to call. Haley Bickle Hopt introduces us to a cowboy who says he is always ready to catch some runaway cattle.
This is Dollar.
If you work an on-call job, you're likely prepared for anything.
Wild cattle catcher.
But for Wesley Bush, that means he's ready to saddle up.
Once I get a call, I'm able to leave within a half hour.
Wesley's a Morrison native, and he has the boots and the look for the job.
Yeah.
Bush is who you call when the cows are out.
Most jobs are 5 or less, occasionally getting into 10, but it's not unheard of to get over 100.
All right. He has experiences with pushed over fences and loose cattle near the interstate.
A lot of my work is in the cornfield, and that's just corn all around you, but at the same time I get, to travel and see river bluffs.
While strategy is key for cattle catching,
Plan A is always to herd.
Plan B is never too far out of reach.
Then I just go straight to roping them.
If Wesley and his horses need a helping hand,
Hanky pack down.
Hank and the rest of the crew are there to help too.
Whereas the dogs, being hunting dogs, they're trained to find the cattle like by scent. So I just drop them, send them off, and they go locate them.
His business takes him well outside Whiteside County.
I've been north of Detroit. I've been east of Columbus, Ohio. I've been 20 minutes from the state of Georgia.
It includes one of his favorite jobs to date.
That job down in southern Tennessee where they've been out for 8 years. We were done by noon.
The full-time roping role is quite the commitment.
Those days I'm usually busy 5 to 7 days a week, and I'll pick up, depending on the size of the job, 1 to 3 or 4 jobs a day.
But Bush wouldn't have it any other way.
once I got into this, I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do.
Because although Illinois isn't the typical place for a cowpoke,
Grab the horse here and get a saddle on it and
he isn't afraid to dig his spurs in,
turn a few dogs loose,
be ready for a call.
load them up and go.
That was Haley Bickelhaupt reporting. Arizona inmates are teaming up with wild horses behind prison walls. Troy Hayden shows us how the partnership is bettering the lives of both humans and animals involved.
Let's go, King.
This isn't your typical horse training operation.
He's young and he's stubborn at times.
The orange clothing, the fences, the razor wire, they give it away. This is the Arizona Wild Horse and Burro program at the Florence Prison Complex. And here, the training goes both ways.
It's a beautiful experience. It's been a beautiful experience for me, myself.
The inmates calming these former wild horses, and in turn, the horses calming and bettering these men.
In a real positive way. I mean, I've learned patience and self-respect. And
you're dealing with something that's 1,200 pounds and it can kill you, you know? And so you learn to connect with each other and be partners, be a team.
Some of the times it's the first time an inmate has ever had the opportunity to have a success in doing something in their life and reaping that reward and realizing what they've done, and they get really close to their animal, and it may be the first thing they've ever in their life been able to break through that barrier and become close to that animal.
I got to where I can get on, and then I've been riding ever since.
These horses are taken off of public lands when their population balloons. Then they're brought here. Inmates will spend several months taking them from not wanting to be touched at all to being ready for trail riding. And it's not just horses out here. Burros are also part of this program. This is Coco, and Coco has been trained to pull this cart. So we're going to go for a little ride. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, go Coco. Here we go. The public also gets to benefit from this program. These horses and burros are going up for adoption and auction, and there are deals to be had.
A horse starts at $1,000, which is the $125 adoption fee, and then on top of that, it's going to be an $875 training fee.
How much does a normal horse cost? Are these good deals?
So a domestic horse, if you're looking for a trail riding horse, you're looking at probably about $5,000 to get a solid horse.
So at $1,000, that's a heck of a deal.
It is a deal, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband and I went horseback riding for his birthday, and I told him I want a horse. He did tell me it was an expensive hobby. Wow. All right, that was Troy Hayden reporting. Stay with us. We have more featured coming up next. A homeowner's tree emergency captured the attention of one person. We'll tell you what he did to solve the problem and how it ended up on the news. Welcome back. The generosity is overflowing in Texas. A homeowner was scared that large trees would come crashing down on her property, so she reached out to her local news station. Maria Aguilera shows us how a viewer went above and beyond to help out.
It's all done now.
Yeah.
After lots of worry, Margaret Johnson can finally breathe easy.
It looks very nice.
Kirby White and his crew at Branch Busters Tree Service did all the work, spending hours in the sun clearing dangerous trees around her home, cutting 2 dead ones, trimming another, and even clearing vines.
I cut the top of it back and took out the vines out of the top, so now that the tree won't blow over on your house.
All of it done for free.
As soon as I saw it come on the television and saw her, I said, oh, I can cut that.
For Mrs. Johnson, it's the end of a long worry.
Oh, wow. But God is good. God is good. Yes, indeed. Channel 11, I cannot thank you enough.
She says this is a blessing.
Oh, boy.
I usually don't let go.
At a time she needed it most.
But how does it make you feel to see her reaction to all of this?
Well, it makes it all worth it.
And for Kirby White, who stepped in to help.
What's your message for the community?
If you have a chance and you have the wherewithal, you could help out some people.
He says it's all about giving back.
I'm glad that this is done for you.
The result? Clean trees, peace of mind.
Give me a hug, cameraman.
It's Caesar. Caesar's a powerhouse.
And newfound community.
That was Maria Aguilera reporting. An 80-year-old woman wanted her house back in Texas. Sarah Hampton says she's been sharing it with a few hundred, look at that, bees that will not leave the property. The buzzing insects had taken over part of her property, leaving her with just one safe way to get in and out of her home.
I avoid that side, yeah, because I can't run, but I can see these that get agitated at times.
After hearing about her situation, beekeeper Henry Brown stepped up to offer his services for free. He made a 2-hour drive to safely remove the bees and help Hampton regain full access to her home.
Give back, because that's what God tells us to do, is to give back and not necessarily think about ourselves.
Oh, I love that. Now, in addition to taking care of the bees, Brown also removed overgrown vegetation, which lawn crews avoided. You get it, or you guessed it rather, because of the hive. Way to go. All right, don't go too far. We have more for you straight ahead on Featured. A little boy's idea turned into a community-wide mission. We'll tell you why he's tapping into his own experience to bring joy to other kids. Plus, how one community turned a petty theft into an overwhelming display of support, and why the stolen money was returned. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. We're heading over to Indiana now, where a heart transplant recipient comes face to face with the pilot whose flight gave him a chance at a second chance at life, rather. Now, it has been 2 years, and the two have not met until now. Oh, I cannot wait to see this one. Ella Rhodes takes us to the heartwarming reunion.
Nearly speechless, Jason Haddix met one of the many people who saved his life.
I mean, it was an emotional time. I mean, I started to, water, and, the minute they said that this was the pilot, it's very special for me.
Overcome with emotion, Jason wiped the tears from his eyes.
It's hard to put true feelings into words for something that extraordinary.
2 years ago, Jason needed a heart transplant. After nearly 200 days in the hospital, doctors found him a match. That's when Brandon Snyder flew to Missouri to pick up Jason's heart. In his 5 years flying organs for transplants, Brandon never met a recipient.
It's not very often that we get to see the story associated with one of our flights.
2 years later, at the Indiana Donor Network's hangar, the pair met for the first time.
It gives us that extra drive. It makes it easier to get out of bed at 3 in the morning for a phone call when we don't know where we're going. It makes it all worth it.
Turns out the two live 5 miles apart in Greenfield and never crossed paths.
It's a small world, and you never know who your neighbor might be, or somebody in your general area, your town, and what kind of role they may have played in your life.
In Jason's case, his neighbor helped save his. Since the transplant, he walked his daughter down the aisle and met his 2 grandbabies.
Would I have been alive still then? Maybe, I don't know, but I know my condition wouldn't be what it is now.
How does Jason thank someone for his second chance at life? His one nurse says, live life to the fullest, take care of your heart, and give back to the community. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes.
I'm so glad that he was able to experience those special moments. All right, we are staying in Indianapolis now to see a powerful testament of love. Even though a sudden medical condition caused a man to lose the ability to walk or stand on his own, Brandon Schaff explains why he diligently built up his strength to get down on one knee without any assistance.
All right. Hey, what's up? This is Victoria.
A special introduction at IU Health Methodist Hospital. Kyle Wickland's physical therapist meeting his fiancée. He walked into the room with the help of a walker, something that he couldn't do a few weeks ago.
I remember it pretty vividly. It was on a Monday night. I came back from work, and then out of nowhere, my legs just gave out on me.
Wickland was wheeled out to the car in his desk chair, unable to walk. When he got to Methodist Hospital, he started working with a neurologist and physical therapist to get his strength back. He said that there were issues with his spinal cord and nerves, which affected his legs. 4 months ago, he also found out that he had a benign brain tumor. He won't need surgery, but it is being monitored. Despite a challenging year medically, his fiancée Victoria Caetano was by his side through it all.
She did everything she possibly could to make sure that I was okay. And through that process, I had zero doubt in my mind that I wanted to marry this girl and be with her forever.
While the goal of Wickland's physical therapist was initially to make sure that he could walk, he told them that he had another goal. He wanted to propose to Caetano in New Jersey, where he's from. They came up with a plan to practice, using his stronger leg as the driving force and his walker to get back up. Wickland said that he'd been planning the proposal for months and wasn't going to let anything stop him. He proposed to Caetano on a New Jersey beach, an emotional moment for the couple after the journey there. Caetano understood what Wickland was going through better than most. She was born with spina bifida, when the spine and spinal cord don't form properly. She had 3 open back surgeries and needed to relearn how to walk.
It almost just felt like we were extra meant to be, because now I get to help him recover through something I actually understand personally.
After his commitment to his recovery, Wickland recalled the moment that he could commit to Caetano for good.
Being able to get down on one knee and propose to her without any assistance from a walker or anything like that was really, really special. Everything leading up to that moment and her being by my side through everything really just made it the most special moment of my life.
What a beautiful moment. That was Brandon Schaff reporting. Now, a 5-year-old boy is making a huge difference in Arizona. Tricia Hendricks explains why he is on a mission to put smiles on the faces of children in foster care.
When I was a baby, I had the little phone where was for playing for a baby.
Toys are something that mean a lot to 5-year-old Eduardo.
And I had a little pumpkin for me to play with.
When he was just 3.5 years old, he came up with a special idea.
I was collecting my Batman toys and moved on to Transformers.
But his mom Victoria says they weren't all for him.
He wanted to collect toys for his friends.
Eduardo, who was adopted as a baby, wanted these brand new toys to go to foster kids.
The toy drive is for the kids who don't have toys.
It's Eduardo's kindest toy drive.
Right now, Eduardo's collecting money and new toys to put together kindness backpacks that include a backpack, blanket, and a toy or soft stuffed animal, all for his friends in foster care to call their own.
Both of my kiddos are from foster care, and we just noticed that a lot of their foster friends didn't have, basically toys or the basic needs, especially when they're going home.
Victoria remembers the day Eduardo first arrived at 10 days old.
Eduardo came to us at our door with a trash bag and 2 bottles, and his caseworker said, hey, his last feeding was at 3 o'clock and his next feeding is this, and basically that's it.
And it was a similar situation with Eduardo's little sister. With such limited resources provided for foster kids,
just having him understand our friends don't have what he has was really warming to me.
Knowing these toys will go to kids in need means so much, all because of a 5-year-old little boy's human kindness.
That's the message that I want him to have always.
Victoria wants the kids receiving these toys to know they're thought about.
And that they belong and, they're important.
So far, Eduardo's raised $300 toward his $450 goal. He has a shout out to those who have donated.
Thanks for all your donations.
How cute is he? That was Tricia Hendricks reporting. Now, if you've ever worked as a waiter or waitress, you know how vital gratuity is, which is why the owners of a small Texas business were heartbroken when their tip jar was stolen. Sydney Walker shows us how the community's response touched everyone's hearts, even the supposed thief.
When a DoorDash pickup order left the tip jar at La Monarca Cravings empty.
It's very overwhelming on how the community came together and they came to support us.
The community filled it right back up.
We went on Facebook and we shared our story, and we got a lot of love from our community in Temple.
When Cristela Garcia went to pay her employees, she couldn't find the tip jar.
I give my employees their tips every night, and I had asked my employees, I was like, do you guys know where the tip jar is? Nobody knew.
That's when she checked their security cameras.
I saw him take the tip jar.
It was a food delivery worker picking up a DoorDash order. She told her employees the news.
It was a little disappointing because my employees work very hard for their tips. You know, some of them are here from open to close.
And made a social media post.
I don't know how to explain it. I was just sharing something on my Facebook, and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal.
A post that rallied the community.
The way they all came together, it was just amazing.
From promoting their small business.
Nick Lopez, he's a photographer. He came by and did a photo shoot for us.
To supporting their staff.
Alicia for giving our employees $200 on tips so they can share. That was just amazing to see everybody come together for us.
They appreciate the love.
If anybody ever needs anything, some water, a drink, even some ice cream, and you don't have any money, you can come and ask, and we will give that to you guys.
And are sending it right back.
Don't be shy to come ask. Just don't steal anything.
And it must be good karma.
At the moment when he came back in the store, Nick was actually here doing the free photo shoot.
A stolen tip jar.
I just turned around and disbelief. He was like, I brought the tip jar and the money's all in there. He was like, I'm sorry.
Returned.
I was just in shock, but I'm just glad he did the right thing.
That was Sydney Walker reporting. There have been a lot of records broken on a football field in Ohio, but in the stands, one fan might have a record that may be a little hard to beat. Kevin Landers has his story.
Few embody Buckeye tradition more.
That's great.
Than Norbert "Norb" Rands.
How long have you gone to Ohio State football games?
I've gone to at least one game every year for 81 years.
Norb witnessed history as Lee Horvath, Ohio State's first Heisman winner, electrified the crowds and...
One of the worst days for football we've ever had. Kickoff for Ohio State.
Well, it's at the Snow Bowl, which we didn't do much. I helped shovel the lines off.
He drove to the 1950 Rose Bowl. He was the spotter for legendary radio play-by-play man Jack Buck, who began his broadcast career calling Ohio State games.
$15 to take your finger and point out who made the tackle.
He even had the task of stalking the locker of head coach Woody Hayes.
Woody was a real trip.
He recalls a surprise meeting with Coach Hayes after he was accepted into dental school.
He said, I want to congratulate you. I thought, man, how did Woody ever find out, I was got in dental school? I just got the letter.
Norb came to Ohio State to play baseball.
I was a catcher.
He said he followed his brother to Ohio State. Norb was one of 8 kids.
They were the first ones and only ones to go to college.
Norb went off to become a dentist. He also fell in love here.
He says, I got 2 degrees and a wife here.
He and his wife married 62 years until she passed. He's been passing along his OSU stories to his daughters.
I didn't hear those when I was growing up, so it's really fun to hear those now.
It's that connection to the scarlet and gray that's provided a unique thread connecting several generations of the Rands family.
My dad's oldest great-grandchild is here, and it's brought even more of us closer together because of that.
His daughters say while his stories of Ohio State lore never get old, there's something else he made sure they remember.
He's always had this philosophy, and he taught us from a very young age that with every privilege is a responsibility.
With age comes wisdom, and at 98 years on this earth, Norb Rand says what never gets old is making the walk inside the shoe.
That was Kevin Landers reporting. Coming up next, a teen is painting a bright future. We'll tell you how he is using his culture to fuel his love for art. Plus, actor Tom Hanks doesn't cast away a promise. More on a gift that was 2 years in the making. Welcome back. A 16-year-old has turned his lifelong passion into a business. He started drawing at just 5 years old. Wow. And now his talent is helping him earn some extra income. Adriana Alexander gives us a look at his artwork.
Drawing became second nature to 16-year-old Marcelino Miramontes at a very young age.
I started getting into art when I was little, probably by like 5 or 6 maybe.
It started off with simple sketches.
So I'd start off by little stick figures, and they weren't that great at first, but as I just practiced along, watched a lot of YouTube tutorials, and I just got better and better over the years.
Before long, his skills grew more detailed and complex.
I do nature, country, and a little bit of holidays.
Marcelino's parents even saw that he had a special talent.
I cry sometimes when I see his art. Like my baby is actually, I mean, he's not a baby. My son is actually, he actually drew this like with his own hands.
And at just 13, he launched his own business.
The name of my business is Renzo's Art because it's part of my middle name, Lorenzo.
Selling more than 100 paintings to Central Texans.
So we got a Latina right here wearing the sombrero.
Marcelino's determined mindset has inspired not just his 7 other younger siblings, but his parents as well.
He commenced based off the stuff that we struggled through. That was his way to get away from it.
And this is just the start to what he has planned for his future.
I want to go to art school after I graduate and go there for as long as I can to study every type of art, welding, sculpting, painting, everything I can. And then I want to be able to have enough money saved up to buy me just a little store and just get bigger on from there.
That was Adriana Alexander reporting. Let's go to a celebration of sound and soul in Connecticut.
Every time they were sure they had you caught.
CT Folk Fest has been a staple in the state for more than 30 years now. The event shines a spotlight on community talent and national folk legends.
We're just trying to expand awareness and bring people of all cultures and backgrounds together with music through storytelling that tells stories of life and how people can expand their empathy and sympathy in our world today.
But the Folk Fest isn't just about music. Organizers say sustainability is a big part of their mission. They say the event reduced its plastic footprint by accessing free water through the city, which was made available for everyone attending. Alrighty, let's head over to Oregon now, where actor Tom Hanks made good on his promise to a small business owner there. Devin Haskins tells us why it took the 2-time Academy Award winner 2 years to do it.
In this quiet shop in Southeast Portland, the room filled with these metal machines of yesteryear.
For me, it's the connection to the word.
Anthony Volpe opened Typespace 4 years ago and saw success right away.
2 weeks after I opened, Willamette Week put us in their top 100 annual Best Businesses of Portland issue.
On the shelf are about 25 or so typewriters to buy, with another 150 being refurbished or fixed. Every piece here has written a story.
It makes my writing more intentional because I don't have cut and paste, delete. I really have to think about what I'm putting down.
Volpe's shop attracts all sorts of customers, from collectors, first-timers, young, old, and even those from Hollywood. In 2023, actor Tom Hanks was in Portland for a book tour.
Just the nicest guy.
And stopped by.
So we just talked about typewriters, not much about his movies or things like that.
Hanks, a typewriter aficionado, stayed about an hour, bought one of the typewriters for his own use, and left.
On the way out, he said, hey, I'm going to send you an autographed typewriter out of my collection.
That was 2023.
I had kind of forgot about it altogether.
2 years later, after sending Tom's manager a message on another matter, he says they realized they forgot as well.
Said, we're going to get it out immediately.
A couple days later, a package.
I just got it in, yep.
A 1955 Rheinmetall typewriter from Germany, one from Hanks's personal collection, signed by him, as promised.
So it's going to stay at the front table here.
It's a piece of memorabilia and a piece of analog history.
People can come down and type on it. That's great. It's not hands off.
Proudly displayed, sitting front and center at Typespace.
That is awesome. That was Devin Haskins reporting. It is time for a quick break, but here's a look at what's coming up next. A bond so strong that it transcends due dates. The most adorable connection that a couple of best friends have in common. Welcome back. A single mother of 15, Nikki Bettis, is paddling the entire length of the Mississippi River. That is more than 2,000 miles, and she is bringing 7 of her kids along for the ride. For Bettis, the trip is about more than miles. After surviving domestic violence and rebuilding her life in Virginia, she says adventure became a way to heal and reconnect with her children. Wow. Alrighty, and now to 2 best friends in Ohio who've been in sync, we can say, for decades now. Bryn Caswell tells us about a surreal twist of fate that landed them in the hospital at the same time.
Michael Hancock Hinson and Maggie Colvin can't remember a time they weren't together.
We met in preschool, but we'd be lying if we said we were best friends at first sight, which took a minute. It took a minute for you. No, Maggie, she didn't like me because I had a boy's name, so we had a hot moment where we were not best friends, but she warmed to me quickly, and we've been friends ever since.
That bond only deepened over the years, from first dances to first dates, college, even living together in their 20s.
We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Yeah.
She saw me with blonde hair, and we've been through all the awkward phases together.
Braces, acne.
As years have passed, Michael and Maggie, now both 40, have continued to share life's biggest milestones.
When I think about Michael, I just think about I don't even think about it. I just think she's always there. She's just part of it, no matter what happens.
So when it came time to start families, for the first time, their paths didn't completely line up. Maggie having her first child nearly 7 years ahead of Michael.
My pregnancy journey was really, it was very unique and a challenge. We got pregnant with Claire really quickly, but we actually did IVF to have Cora and Quarter. And so through the fertility journey it was really rough.
Hi, Mac. But this summer, their paths realigned and turns out synchronized. The two giving birth just hours apart at Riverside on the same floor, delivering 2 healthy little boys, Malcolm and Quarter.
I think it was pretty shocking for the nurses. The first time they walked in and both two patients and 2 babies were in a room and they didn't belong together, and they were like, this never happens. And I was like, we know each other. It's fine.
I mean, her parents are like my family, and her sister, came in my room. Everybody was postpartum just hanging out because it's family. So it was great to have them there. It's the more people to love your babies, the better,
100%.
Maggie and Michael even have the same OBGYN, Dr. Brianne Plant.
I had sisters, actually, 2 years ago now, maybe, that delivered 4 days apart.
She says this is a first for her, especially for 2 women in their 40s.
I've never had friends deliver on the same day, and I have a lot of patients that are relatives with each other or friends with each other.
While Maggie went through IVF and Michael didn't, Dr. Plant says there's more options today for women who want to have children later in life.
Women are going to college, they're getting careers, they're meeting people later in life, they're getting married later in life, they're postponing families in order to get ahead in their career or find the right time.
Today, both mommies and daddies are doing great. Malcolm and Quarter now 6 weeks old.
So Malcolm and Quarter, they're already best friends, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not going to have a choice.
Yeah. Right. I mean, we didn't really have
just
a choice.
Just like we didn't have a choice, so they won't have
It was destiny.
From preschool playdates to labor and delivery rooms, 2 best friends now raising the next generation of best friends.
Here you go, buddy.
Side by side.
Sometimes they say soulmates. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be platonic. In a way, do you feel like you 2 are soulmates?
I thought of it that way, but
partners for life.
Partners for life.
That was Bryn Caswell reporting. All right, that's it for Featured. I hope you found something that inspired you or simply made you smile. Until next time, make it a great one.